from just outside the perimeter and way down in LaGrange, Georgia.
Hey! Yes, there are banjos. Yes, every time I drive down here, I hear them.
That was somebody help me out. Oh my god.
You were going for dueling banjos, Kat. You were going for
No. It was oh shit. I'm like messing up this whole thing. It was
longest intro of all time. Where now
ZZ Top. I was doing ZZ Top.
Ah.
Where now we have a red to go along with all our dread.
I thought you were gonna say like now we have a red to go with all of our blue.
Nope, but hello everybody. It's the 5 Takes Podcast, and we are back.
We're back.
Hey, back like professional women's soccer. Let's start off with something positive here.
We can do that. We can do positive.
That was
5 minutes.
That was DecaturFC against Atlanta Fire United. That was a cool-ass event. 1,800 people turning up for semi-pro women's soccer. Haven't been around since the beat. It was cool.
You looked at a beat original right here. I went to one of the first matches.
I've got, I wasn't, but I do have an Atlanta Beat yard sign.
I know, it's very cool. My mom was wearing her Atlanta Beat shirt the other day when she came to my house.
Awesome.
And I was like, hey, we talked about that.
And it was great. I mean, look, 5 goals and a clean sheet. This team loves to shoot from outside the 18.
Hey,
shoot on sight, banger after banger. Great atmosphere. Chants going already. Great merch. Wish they had scarves. They would have sold out. I'd have got one.
That's probably true.
I heard they sold out.
Did anybody say anything? Did anybody let them know, hey, get some scarves?
They had hats and shirts, and people bought a lot of those. I think they did fairly well.
They were sold out of basically like all the shirts and stuff in like large and XL pretty fast.
Good.
That's what I heard. Like people couldn't
get
find
more.
shirts that
I think they were maybe the staff with DecaturFC were taken back a little bit by the enthusiasm, by people willing to, run that credit card just smoking hot. People just forking over their money. The take my money meme, it was that. There was a line at the merch tent. It was incredible. You may not get that
every week, but it's really
sure. But the inaugural thing, and I hope the support stays. We got 5 home matches with the ladies. Yeah, look, it was great football. It was quality, pretty dominant, if we're being honest, a little lopsided, but great play, entertaining, cool to, you're right there, you're right on top of the pitch with these lower league games, like even closer than you'll get to with the 2s. It's just at Decatur High School. And it's cool to see the support, the growth, the enthusiasm, the quality.
It's also affordable.
It's $10 in the door. Boom.
$10 in the door.
Bring your kids. There were a ton of kids there, boys and girls, wearing the shirts. Future football players. Like that's where it starts. That's grassroots. And despite Atlanta United's struggles and how painful it is to watch, the growth of this sport and the way this city, the communities, in it, around it, all around Georgia, have embraced it as a whole is something we got to really make sure we don't take for granted. The work has been put in to make this moment and all the other moments happen, and it was dope. I had a blast. I had a great time. I can't wait to go back.
Well, they got a whole bunch of Saturday matches coming up through July 1st, and hey, even if you don't live in Decatur, don't forget you can go check out the Georgia Impact. They're up in Canton.
Yep.
The Atlanta Fire that's up in like the Sewanee area, I believe. So like there's, it's not DecaturFC because it's in town and obviously close to
easy to get to MARTA right there. Boom.
Yeah, like it's super user friendly, which good on them for being smart about it. But if you happen to be OTP like me, and Georgia Impact's a heck of a lot closer. They're oh man, they're sponsored by one of the really good breweries up there. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, but like they did a really nice kit with them. And they're making their own beer. So like this whole like semi-pro women's soccer thing is a real thing in this state, and
Yeah.
it's awesome to see.
Yeah.
You know, whatever side of town you're on, there's an opportunity here to go support women's sports in person.
Yes.
Because Lord knows, getting an
Yes.
Atlanta Dream ticket right now is hard.
You're right. Good.
You know, good for them
Good.
and good for them. And what do we, you know, and the vibe next year with the success they had this year, you know, the pro volleyball team up in Woodland, you know, they're just going to keep growing and growing. And no, the arena is not just full of kids who play volleyball, although it's great to see kids who play volleyball having a chance to go actually watch professional volleyball and not have to wait for like the 2 big qualifier tournaments every year to see it, to see like top flight volleyball, which is awesome for women to have real world models in this, you know, in this town, that, you know, places you can take your kids to go show them that, look, it's not just all about big money and, you know, NIL licensing and, oh, hey, by the way, we're going to start paying college athletes now.
I know.
You know,
hopefully it's not a done deal yet. Judge has to approve. Got to figure out how it all works, but good things. It's good stuff. Hope it all works out. But you're right. There are options now to show your kids, like, their pathways.
Yeah.
This is
if this is something,
goals.
Yeah, if this is something that you love doing, here you go.
Here you go.
And I think that's really awesome. So yeah, I'm sorry I didn't make it on Friday. It's been a little bit of chaos in my life.
Oh, I understand.
But
Same.
yeah, so
Same.
But,
yeah.
You know, I think I can't wait to get out to. I think I'm going to go to the one next week, and I can't wait to get out.
I'm going to try to go to that one as well. Maybe I'll go to that over Atlanta United. Who knows? It's great.
Lord knows I don't want to go to another Atlanta United match right now.
It's painful right now. You want to just start talking about it? I'll tell you what, before we do that, because it's going to be, I feel like a lot of letting it out as productively as we can, but let's thank Mason Mill. Let's get all the positive stuff out of the way up front and then be negative.
While you're still listening.
While you're still listening to the positive part, let's segue Mason Mill into the positivity portion of the show. We love them. We appreciate them. They have been with us from the jump. Incredible place. Incredible support they've given to us in the game.
And the really, really, really bad, like we have right now. They have been there by our side.
All of it. All of it. Good and bad. Haven't wavered. And that's not nothing. And we don't take it for granted. And I don't take just the practice that they are and what they've done for my physical well-being for granted. Give them a call, 404-321-0082, Ashley or Rachel. We'll be on the other end of the line, and they will get you set up with your initial appointment, or if you're a returning client, your next appointment, and you can book online too. MasonMillCairo.com. They're in Decatur, Georgia, with DecaturFC off McConnell Mill Drive. So many good things in Decatur. We love Decatur.
Popular area right now.
Yep.
Decatur is greater.
Poppin'. Hey. All right. We love them. We appreciate them. Go check them out and pick you up some stickers while you are there. I think they may even still have a few shirts kicking around. Ask for one. They'll probably give you one. I think they still have a box of them. We still have a few left as well. So, with that said, we're not going to do a code word or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, if you're listening to this pod, God bless you. Thank you for sticking with us and the team through all this negativity. And as a reward, first few people who give us a little shout out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Send us a DM, an email saying, hey, I want a shirt. We'll hook you up with a shirt. How about that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. We still got some.
First 3 people to kind of...
First 3 people. Hit us up and say, hey, love the pod.
Let us know. Yeah.
We'll send you a shirt. Oh, man, am I trying to inject positivity in this thing. I am trying.
I know. You seem far too amped right now.
I had 2 energy drinks before I came on.
I was just going to ask how much Zoa you were drinking.
There's a little bit left there.
That must be what it takes to kind of get into that mode right now, because I was telling
injecting
Jennifer,
it into my veins.
Yeah,
Here we go.
I know you're having to tap it. I was telling Jennifer last week after we'd actually completed the pod when we were already
and I hung up on y'all and started editing. Yeah.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that we were already just struggling to find some positivity.
Right.
So we actually found some common ground on apparently our love for Costa Rica. But I was talking about some other things because there have been times in the past years, not just this year, when we're not doing well, if we've had a spell or two, or even just one game where the next day I come down and it's just, sometimes it's really hard to find motivation to even do this pod, because you're like, what are we gonna fucking talk about that's positive? And it's kind of like, I think about it, and I'm tired, especially the last year that I've been doing the weekend shows at CNN where I get up at 4 a.m., and then I do that two days, sometimes 3 days in a row. And I have to, find the motive. I have to force myself to want to come down here and put these headphones on and sit in front of this microphone and try to find positivity.
I have less of a challenge, like forcing myself to sit down here and talk and bitch about all the Atlanta United related things to you. I'm having a really hard time forcing myself to stay awake during an Atlanta United soccer match.
I know. You were there and you were bored.
Yeah, I was
so
there.
bored.
I was there as well. I got there a few minutes late, but I hear you.
So I like the best thing about yesterday is Amy Anna Marie took me, her wife has works for a law firm, and they had a suite. So I got to go up into the all you can eat suite.
Let's
like
go.
With, yes, premium open bar, and
boy, is that needed.
Yeah. So that, and getting to see Hugo Lloris, play really well against us. That was also kind of cool.
Your former boy.
He did.
Yeah.
He had one mistake, but we couldn't capitalize on it. So.
No. I think he played fine. I don't think he necessarily stood on his head like other keepers have with us. I don't think we challenged him enough, to be honest with you. I don't think we challenged him all that much.
He had, off the top of my head, there were two very, very high quality saves that he made.
Agreed.
He had the one on Saba that was absolutely going in from the right side, attack, like our side, like the supporter section side.
Yeah.
In the second half that he got a finger on and it went out. And then there was another one in the first half. I want to say it might have been off of Jande.
Okay. Well, yeah, two saves.
Very quality saves though.
Yeah, two average saves or 2 is an average save count for like a decent football match. Two good quality saves. Yeah. That's a good game. But we had sometimes, we had like Crepeau when he made like 12 fucking saves.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah.
But it wasn't like that, as I'm saying. Yeah, but he did fine. He did well. He
did his job, and having followed his career for a long time over in Tottenham, and the fact that he wound up over here, I think that's pretty. That was kind of cool. It was nice. It was neat to get to see him play.
I'm glad you got to see your boy from your club. That's cool. And hey, congratulations! You will be playing Europa League. Chelsea will not.
Yay!
Because Man United somehow beat City in the FA Cup, which means they get a Europa League spot, which knocks Chelsea down to Conference League.
Yeah.
With Mason Mount on the pitch when it happened. If you can't find a more apropos thing to sum up Chelsea's season, there it is.
Yeah.
Positive vibes.
But at least it's something, and you still beat out Newcastle, which, very easily had, they had a better season. I look, you said this the other day, and look, I don't want to sound harsh because I don't mean it to sound harsh, but I kind of think that Chelsea is where Chelsea deserves to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the fact that y'all had any kind of resurgence there at the end and got to where you are, I think you're very lucky to have that kind of, to end up 100%. Where you did,
100%.
So, but, there's something to be said for late season surges. Sporting looked like they were going to end up having one of the worst records in MLS ever.
Surges.
And they were able to do that. So last week I asked you, I said, is the season a wash? And you said, no, it's possible that something could happen. Look at what Sporting did. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm starting to wonder, man. If we are in for the fucking wooden spoon, as we seem to have, pointed out, that is a real fucking blow.
Let me ask you both a question before we get into the takes.
Okay, is this like Jennifer answer and then me answer?
Yeah.
Okay, what you got?
Jennifer, would you be okay with us more or less punting the season, going all in on Leagues Cup, U.S. Open Cup in pursuit of a trophy, and then a CCC spot? Say it's done. Rest the boys as much as you can, But when it comes to those two tournaments, first choice as much as you can. Or are you not there yet? Like Kristen said, late surges.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know that, we're talking about being like a third of the way through the season at this
Yes.
point. So we're a third of the way through the season.
Too early? Too early
The
for you?
East is, the gap is widening.
It's widening.
It is not insurmountable. And, playoffs are wild. So punting this season completely, no.
Okay.
Prioritizing Open Cup, yes.
Okay.
I'd be prioritizing the hell out of that.
Better way to word it.
The way that tournament has drawn out for us, and
Pretty
I'm gonna go
friendly.
Yes.
Yep. Because now, who do we have next?
We have the only, I believe, one of
USL.
two USL. We get Indy 11, and Indy 11 isn't a bad team. Like, they're not a bad team.
No, but that, even in the team's state, we should at least be able to go to penalties and have Cohen save us. At least.
I mean, you know what? Not for anything, and it's very hard to lose sight of this.
Yeah.
With the woes of the first team, but that win in Charleston was pretty damn big, right?
The kids,
and
the mishmash.
I hate. So what I hate in terms of what's going on with the team right now, I hate seeing people taking a dump on the team celebrating a win that was. You did that.
I did that.
I'm calling you out for it, Glenn.
Go ahead. That's fair.
I'm calling you out for it.
Yeah, it's fair. Go ahead.
When we were playing a completely rotated roster of kids, academy kids, kids Terry teaches at the international school. Yeah. Okay. Our backup goalie, I think 4 or 5 actual starters.
Yeah.
Go out.
Something like that.
And at the time, the Battery is the only undefeated team left in USL Championship. They don't run, they're not also Rans. They run a very tight. They went to the finals of USL Championship.
They're in rhythm. They're healthy.
Yeah, so to say it wasn't anything to beat a USL Championship team, right, I think is doing our academy and our homegrown players and those kids that went out there and showed that they wanted it and did something that no Atlanta United first team has ever done before. And that was win in a penalty shootout. We've never done that before. So to sit there and say, yeah, that don't vibe with me. But that also doesn't make me okay with where the first team is right now.
Fair.
And what most of the offensive parts of the first team who did not play in Charleston.
Okay, fair enough.
Most of them are not doing right now from a performance standpoint.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you only on this one point, in which is that the people that criticized that win for what it was maybe were a little bit short-sighted, myself included. We were a little bit short-sighted because we're so down on it on the first team right now. And you're right, it's probably it was not a correct move to be like, oh, why are we celebrating when it wasn't the first team that was out there playing? And I'm the first one to admit that when today, in light of actually Saturday nights, I'm saying, you know what? Sit the whole fucking first team, because the only people that can actually win right now are the kids, and they're doing great at it. So let's put them in. Put them against fucking Miami.
We're gonna have to.
Well, I know,
because that's who we got left. But fair enough. So, are you punting season, or where are you at with that?
I'm gonna disagree with Jennifer almost entirely, and not entirely, but almost entirely. Okay. And I'll tell you why. Only because I don't think that, and this is my opinion, some people may disagree with me on this. No. I don't think that MLS and America and soccer in America operates the same way it does in England, in Europe. In Europe, a lot of the times, yes, you care about winning the league. You care about it a lot. But almost winning trophies is what matters more, because you have opportunities to win tournaments throughout the year.
FA Cup,
FA
United.
Cup, yeah, Europa, Champions League, whatever it is, whatever tournament that you can enter and be in, those matter more. Winning that actual piece of fucking cutlery, right? You want that. It matters a lot in Europe. I don't think that it matters to the supporters here in this country as much. Okay, now hold on, because I know that you're going to start. You might disagree with some of that. There are different kinds of supporters in this country.
And that's great.
Very different kinds. Of course, you've got more casual fans, you have the diehard fans, you have the super diehard, fans or supporters that are there every week, the ones that are involved with the tifos. There's very different types of people who support their teams here. In my observance, it's not the same when it comes to winning trophies. CONCACAF doesn't mean as much. Leagues Cup doesn't mean as much.
It's the way America's set up. It's NFL, exactly. MLB, NHL. It's all about winning. Yeah,
everything's about rivalries.
League.
Yeah, it's about who's in your division. Like especially in things like baseball and football, everything's not just divided up into East and West. It's divided up into Southeast, Southwest, Northeast, Northwest. You've got all these different divisions. It's always who do you play? There's 162 games in baseball, but I mean, shit. At least we have more games in soccer than we do in football. But it's it's a different kind of thing. So I don't think that the league should be a wash. I don't think we should punt it, because if you want to bring people back and you want to put butts in seats, they don't want to see.
Yeah, U.S. Open Cup isn't going to do
that's
it.
Actually,
they don't care.
Well, that's actually, that's pretty much what I said. I'm just saying I wouldn't punt the league, but I would, because it is the path of least resistance to a trophy, place priority on U.S. Open
i.e.,
Cup.
if you have some starting players, maybe you go ahead and give them more minutes in an Open Cup game in lieu of minutes in a League Cup.
I would choose the Open Cup game over the league match in terms of prioritizing who goes in the line.
Oh, to get those wins.
I got you.
That bring the people back.
I think that's
put the butts in the seats.
That's a better way to put it.
I don't disagree. But
what
people
you're saying,
don't follow.
You make a really good point about the different types of supporters and the casual fans, right? And I know AJ and Weiss have been screaming about, the casual fans are leaving that's the death of the team.
Well, they are.
I agree that they are, but the ones you don't have to worry about the casual fans. We live in a town of 13 million. There's 6 million people in the metro area.
Yeah.
So if I lose 500 fans, it's not that big of a deal. But if I lose the core people that are the ones going out there making tifos,
that's a problem.
And dinners,
that's a good point.
Section.
That's another very good point.
Like you said,
you start winning. The casual supporters will come back.
They will come back. Right. Winning,
or
winning brings them back. It's very easy. I mean, it's not easy to win. That's not what I'm saying, but you know what I mean.
I know what you're saying.
Winning is a beautiful salve.
Right. But if you lose, if you lose the ones that are hardcore,
that are all about the badge.
That's
hard to come. That's really hard to bring back.
That's why I think at least if we go out and we win Open Cup.
Okay.
And I think that's a much more doable ask than League.
And that's going to make, I think.
I'm not saying it makes everything better, but it makes a season like this easier to swallow.
The diehards, the tifo makers, if you will, in the SGs, I think, I'm speaking for myself here mostly, I think you two as well, would feel pretty good about lifting a trophy somewhere,
I wouldn't. I think
it depends who's lifting it.
I don't know that it cures. Like I said, I don't think it cures everything, but at least it gives me a reason to not opt out for next year.
Yeah.
At least there was something that was fun and good and something to celebrate, even when the rest of the world went to.
We need to be shown, everybody, casual fans included too, that this team still has ways to get something done. Even if it is asterisk U.S. Open Cup, because we don't have all MLS teams in this, right? And we probably would at this third game. We're facing in the 11 at this point. It probably would have been an MLS side in normal years. But whatever. I'll take it. A win's a win. And you're right. I did poo-poo it. Hard. And you're also right that maybe was a little harsh, because it's not like it was the starting 11 who went out there and couldn't beat up on Charleston. It was largely the kids and Dax McCarty and A. Brooks for 20 minutes, right? Who hasn't been great. And they got it done.
Have a good game that night either.
So despite my primary concern with this club being the mentality, and me looking at that as feeding into the wrong mentality of this club, there is something there worth celebrating, especially for the kids. It is important for them. And, it's just unfortunate that win and that draw against Nashville didn't parlay into anything in the league with the first team. It just didn't.
And I think that's a fresh new hell that we're in. Okay.
Yeah.
So, fine, we go to Nashville, we don't play great, we get out of there in one piece. It's an away match.
Right.
We go to Charleston, an away match. Guess what? We got an away win. It wasn't in league play, but that was an away match, and we did actually win it. Right?
Sure.
And then we come back here, and we shit the damn bed.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. I want to say one more thing,
Go ahead.
If we continue what was the, you guys, I get confused. I'm sorry. Please help me here. Which tournament was it where we played Charleston? Is that
US
leagues
Open.
or
US Open?
That's
Open
Leagues
Cup.
hasn't started. It will in a month and a half.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So, God, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Remember,
It's
I've been up since before 4 today.
Yeah, Anderson Cooper doesn't sleep. Neither do you. I got you.
What bugs me when we do some of these though, especially when we play in the Open Cup, is that we'll play the kids and they'll do all the fucking dirty work all the way to the end, and then they'll play the starters for the first team, and they don't give the kids the opportunity to finish what they started. And that's why I said it depends on who's lifting that trophy. Because if the kids get out there, the kids and some starters get out there and they've won all these games and they do win the first penalty shootout for us, and they continue and they get there and they get there and they get there, and then all of a sudden we decide that it's a good idea to play the starting fucking 11 and continue to, as Jennifer said so eloquently, shit the bed, and then we lose. I will never forgive them for making that choice, because the kids have gone out there and done their fucking job. So if we continue in the Open Cup, they better let the kids have it.
I'll say this to wrap up Open Cup talk,
because I don't want to lift it. I don't want to lift it if it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I'll piggyback on what Jennifer said about praise for the kids, and they should be. If by some miracle we do lift this thing in U.S. Open Cup, what a massive feather in the cap for the academy.
Yeah.
For the kids.
Yeah.
You won a trophy. And that could be a really big thing, and it would be largely due to the kids if we do it, right? I'm sure if we make it to the final, we're gonna try to first choice it as much as possible. But the road to get there, that's the kids. That's the kids that are getting it done by any means necessary, and that would be something worth celebrating. I promise I won't poo-poo that. If we lift the trophy, I will be ecstatic about it.
Thanks,
One of my
Glenn.
favorite moments with you, Kristen, it was the U.S. Open Cup win against Minnesota United. I still have the photo favorite. It's a home screen on my laptop.
I know. It's so great.
It was as good a moment as winning MLS Cup. Honestly,
it was great.
It was wonderful in the fashion we did it to get there. It's not nothing. It would be cool, and it's is more attainable at this point than MLS Cup. Certainly.
I just hope that the kids get their
just due.
Get their just
all
due.
right, kids, if you're listening, I'm sorry for poo-pooing on your win. It was a good one. All right. So, first up here, this starting 11 that we put out, albeit not first choice. We know that because of who's available. It was still chosen and set up with 2 up top to score an early goal. Everybody's been talking about this. Dax was talking about it. Love his pregame press conference. Very insightful, very revealing, very forthright, honest. I love the way he speaks. Get a goal in the first 15 minutes. Get the crowd on side. We haven't done it. The best we could do was get 56% possession, once again, 50 plus, always, and 0.5 XG to LA's close to 1. The 11 that was out there is talented enough to score. And we didn't. We've had the majority of possession in all our losses. Mm-hmm. Nothing changed. Nothing.
Yeah, Jennifer pointed that out a few weeks ago. Was it even just last?
That was Tom provided that stat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That all of our losses, we've had the most possession, and that's something that Sasha Kleshchin actually pointed out when I saw an article about whose stock is up and whose stock is down. And ours is down. And
Shocker!
I know. We are averaging over 56% possession. And the problem is that we're content with just knocking the ball around and having absolutely no idea what to do with it. and we're doing it mostly in our third, if not the middle third, and we have no idea how to do anything. Well, not that we don't know how, it's that we cannot seem to do anything.
I think we don't know how. This is number one, and number two are the exact same thing. Gonzo keeps talking about every pre-match, every post-match, simplifying the game. He hasn't. You know it's not simple? Having a lot of the ball. You got to figure out what to do with it. Mm-hmm. And we haven't made any adjustments to that end.
Yeah.
Clearly, this team is not capable of playing the tiki-taka ball that he wants to play.
Right.
And that is something we can be critical of him for. He does have to figure out how to get the most out of what he's got. He hasn't. And he hasn't made that adjustment, despite him saying he's going to. So what gives there? It's not easy playing a Man City style, passing your opponent to death. 1-2 pass, 1-2 pass. We don't have that quality. So why are we playing like this?
I don't know. I think we, you know what I think would work probably the best if once we have Gigi
low block
again. No, I think we just we just play 100% direct, just ball over the top.
We could try that too.
Ball to Brooks, pass it in.
And we've tried to get to.
You know what's funny? What's funny about that, Cat?
Direct.
On the post game last night, I think it was. Is it Stu? I know one of the guys, Abe, and who's the other guy?
Garrett Chapman and Abe.
Yeah, so Garrett, it was Garrett. I don't know why I said Stu. So Garrett actually asked Jason Longshore if that would work. Like literally, words out of his mouth said, "Well, what if we just said fuck it against Miami and like threw everything but the kitchen sink? Just don't even care about defense. Push everybody up, mega balls on net." Right. And Jason's response, and what he could do with this was, "But who? Who is going to do that? Because we're not getting Gigi back on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. I don't think Almada can go 90. You might get 60 minutes out of him on Wednesday.
Maybe.
Gregerson, I don't know.
He was cramping up at the end. He's not 90 fit.
He's not 90 minutes. He's not 90 minutes fit. Tiare, I don't think is a 90-minute player.
Nope,
like
he's not.
He's never going to be a 90-minute player. Jean De Silva, also not a 90-minute player. Nope. Mosquera, not a 90-minute player.
Much better as a 20-minute super sub.
Maybe Saba can give you.
You got Firmino. He can go 90 probably, even though he played a ton in US Open. He's gassed too. Well, everybody's gassed. And in the few times,
we're gassed or injured because we don't have Wolf.
But here's
Derek Williams is not 90 minutes match fit.
No, he's not. Good to see him.
Yeah, it was good to see him get a cup of coffee. But I mean, who do you do it with? Love the idea. Who do you do it with?
But the thing is, when we were healthy, when we had a Gigi, someone tall up top, when with the few times we get direct, it's still 1v3 too often. It's Gigi against 3 center backs. Nobody else is crashing the box. So that doesn't even work. So
I have an alternate idea then for next week.
Yes.
Is Miami here or is it away?
It is away with a rested Messi and Luis Suarez, who did not travel to Vancouver.
Here's my suggestion.
Yes.
Reverse our tactic entirely.
Yes.
Park the bus in front of the fucking goal and try to minimize the amount of goals that Miami scores that Messi scores against us,
or at least a back three, and play for the counter. Yeah. Play for 40% possession.
Fine, but that way we're not absolutely fucking embarrassed.
So I mean, look, Miami's not. Let's be real about this. Miami was not built to have a defense, right? No. Like that's not what they do. They're going to kill you with they're going to kill you with quality we have never even dreamed of.
Messi can score from mid-pitch, so it doesn't really matter.
But, I don't know. Like I said, there's just, there's no good answers. Oh, and hey, guess who's not going to Miami next week?
Schlieff.
Goose.
And Schlieff. Well, is he off to Poland yet?
I heard someone say.
I think he's gone already.
He's missing, yes, but it's not just because of Euros.
No, some personal matter that we're not aware of, but that's bumping right up to Euros. So he's going to be gone.
Which is why he's going.
And by the way, Saba gone as well for Euros.
Yeah, so I
Gigi will still be here. So.
I think the prospect of expecting us to score a goal next week is probably pretty fucking low. So let's do what Maybe we do exactly what I said. We play
it.
like not necessarily a back five, but we play a back three,
Yep.
a back three with
center
two
backs.
defensive midfielders. We put in Dax as a holder.
Start Dax.
We put in start Dax
100%.
And have Mayumba in there if we don't have Schließ, and tell Mayumba to play back, and then we put Rios up top, and we just say, you know what,
look for that long ball.
Yeah, anything
and maybe it's
get,
there. And if
try.
you see it, if Cohen sees it, do it.
Just try it.
See if you can
Just
hit
try.
Rios. See if you can hit Firmino. Get him in transition.
But only send him.
That's simple. At least that's simple. It doesn't mean it'll
right.
work, but it's simple.
And use Brooks and Jande as true wing backs, and have them let's just see if we can not get ourselves absolutely embarrassed.
Because it could get ugly.
Because it could really get bad. I mean, honestly,
4, 5,
if we play, that's what I'm saying. If we
play our way
in Miami with the personnel that we
Pineda
have,
ball.
with the personnel that we have in Miami, 4-0. I predict 4-0. Two Suarez, one Messi, and one Campana. That's my prediction. Sorry.
I'm gonna throw a little monkey wrench in your scheme, and I'm gonna hit up take 4 with this.
Go, let's do it.
Because your scheme requires Brooks Lennon to get his head out of his ass.
I know.
And actually play soccer.
I'm not seeing things here, right? Like, I get it that the drop off has been team wide, right? Brooks is not alone.
No,
but if you want to pick out a guy that has been with this club for a while now, ups and downs, more downs than ups, but because always somebody that we could point to is like, yeah, but it ain't him. He's doing it. He's not doing it.
He's not doing it.
Right? Am I off?
No, it kills me.
And when somebody who's been doing it suddenly isn't, boy, is it glaring.
Brooks is one of my favorite players on the squad.
No doubt.
Love the guy. Mm-hmm. You know, he's the guy that goes in. He pushes his sleeves up. He
works.
He goes in there and he does the work. And since Gigi went down with the injury, I'm gonna go like not even like the Philadelphia, but like this goes back to and there's been a lot of debate, Brooks versus Gressel, right?
Sure.
And we have to concede, frankly, that up until just now, literally last year when we got Gigi, it wasn't a fair comparison because look who Brooks was getting to pass to. Look who Gressel was getting to pass to. In Columbus, even in DC.
But conversely, also, like you said, until we got Gigi, look who Brooks was passing to. Pretty much no one.
Of course, he's not going to have the flashy offensive numbers.
Correct.
That Julian Gressel
did.
But
what Brooks always
did, the defensive work, right? Now, I will say, I don't feel like there's been a drop off in the defensive end for Brooks.
Oh, I do.
I do.
He got absolutely fucking bossed by Benteke.
I do.
Benteke embarrassed him.
Not just that, but in this match too, all of his passes, everything. I mean, what's more noticeable drop off is his attacking plays and his service has been abysmal.
That's what I wanted to call out, because where I was sitting yesterday, where I was in the 200s and up overlooking like the corners, I can't normally see the corners because I'm like down front right on top of them.
Right.
And so to actually see how far off he's hitting the ball overhead, like we had 3 guys in the box.
Yeah.
3 big guys in the box, and it just went all the way out past our last guy on the edge of the 18.
Yeah, I found myself last night. I'm going,
somebody could make contact with.
It almost looks like
who the hell was that to?
It almost looks like he's got an injury that he's not, that hasn't been disclosed or something. Like the calibration is so severely off. Is he struggling with something?
A bruise, like he's got a bruise.
Another bone bruise? Something?
Yeah, like he goes to gear up to pass it, and so what's happening is he's over fucking cooking it because he's trying so hard to do it.
Everybody's over trying hard, but like
they look like high schoolers.
The thing with Brooks that's different from other players on this team who are experiencing a drop off is Brooks has been here for the worst moments and hasn't dropped off.
And hasn't dropped off until now.
And now he has. And now he has. Oh, dear God. And that's why I didn't want to call him out in a way of like, hey, fuck you, dude. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that caught my attention more than the other drop-offs because he has been so steady. Mr. Reliable for a reason.
Yeah, and it's really worrisome to see that like that bug has finally infected him.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of the last one standing in that regard from the offense.
And he played and to be honest with you, that penalty that he took in the Open Cup and the way that he played he's supposed to be one of the first, the starters, one of the starting 11 to play in that match. He played really poorly. His service to the kids wasn't any better.
No.
And that penalty that he got up there and he took was absolutely lacking in any kind of
very much in line with everything he's been producing.
He doesn't look like he's having any fun. It looks like
joyless.
Yeah.
Except for that photo.
Joyless soccer.
Except for that photo in the locker room.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Put your shirt back on. Yeah, put your shirt back on, guys.
At least. All right. Number 3. So, speaking of getting embarrassed by Miami potentially, it's embarrassing when we are undone by simple things. Not even just like outclass, but like I'm talking like balls over the top.
That's our
through balls, simple stuff that eliminate 3 defenders. Not playing to the whistle again. I'm tired of hearing praise from Gonzo for the basics. My team had fight and they're committed and blah, 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 blah. I don't see that. I don't see it. I know it's really harsh to start questioning players' commitments, but when you're looking to the ref, expecting a whistle or, you know what I mean? Not playing to the end line every tackle. And I get it. Everybody's gassed and tired. You have to, bare minimum. The bare minimums have to be met. And that's one.
What came up in various and sundry post-game discussions that I had with people was the idea of, yes, we have all this adversity, right? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, the reffing was questionable yesterday, blah, 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 whatever. Sure. You know what? We shouldn't be a team where questionable reffing is a defining characteristic as to whether or not we can walk away from the pitch with a result. Right?
Here.
That's not, it's like, okay, yeah, you can be Jim Curtin, you can bitch about the reffing all you want, but that can't be what makes or breaks a team. Oh, we got screwed, so blah, blah, blah. This team took until we went down a man to actually get on the front foot and start working inside the 18.
It has become the DNA of this club. Twelman was right on the broadcast. We do not play until we are severely behind, backs against the wall. We don't show up. I know Thiago coming on changes things, and we play better with him, obviously. But I'm just talking about that commitment, that energy, the pace. Yeah, Thiago does bring some of that. But even if he didn't come on, I guarantee you we still see an uptick in performance and commitment after we go down a man and get scored on every time.
I do feel like they came out the first 10 minutes and at least looked like they were trying. Sure. And then after that, they went into
another level. And then it was chance creation. You're telling me we can't do that kind of chance creation prior to, no, I don't accept that. I don't accept that.
If we're not doing that for 90, then we're not playing hard enough. Yep. And you know what? They all need to go out there and fucking run some goddamn laps. I'm tired of it.
I don't know if we can do that right now. I think everybody's...
I don't care!
You know who was out on the pitch after who was out on the pitch after the match running laps? The fucking LA subs were. I watched them. They were doing fucking wind sprints back and forth. Good. We're walking around and people are booing the team, and LA's out there with their subs running wind sprints.
Mentality.
Because they have the same fixture congestion that we do.
Yeah.
Mentality.
I'm fucking tired of anything where they're like, oh, I'm gassed or I'm tired or this, that, and the other. You're a fucking professional athlete. If you're that gassed, go sit down. Go sit. Here's the bench. Tell your coach, I can't do it, sir. Sit me.
Also, you know what would help? So let's say, fair enough. Gassed and tired. You know what would help? An early goal. Finish your chances in the first 15 minutes, and then maybe you don't have to work as hard if you score early.
That shot in the first half that Rios just booted.
That has to be a goal. It's got to be at least on target.
But
it's got to be. So
we had three really great looks, none of which hit on target. The one that Danny Rios shifted wide, the one that Thiago just missed on his left foot that went just wide, and then the one at the end of the match that Muyumba put
that went just wide.
Yeah, just wide.
And Jande's shooting for he's trying to shoot from
Man, what a drop off.
He's hitting it so hard. It's like he's hitting it from mid pitch. I like what our buddy Patrick said. He said if Pineda goes, he said our interim coach needs to be tough as nails. Also, won't solve anything. I just want to see some tables flipped over in the locker room. Go full Bobby Knight. Fuck it. And then he said, Jande, get out there and practice shooting at the goal. Fuck it. Aim for the goalie.
Yeah, finishing.
Somebody, I can't remember. Somebody posted like the best soccer meme. It was, I think it might have been on the Reddit, where it was the caption was, "Have we?" The quote was, "Have we resorted to this?" And it was a GIF of soccer supporters with neon arrows that pointed toward the goal, and they were, side to side. The goal is this way, and then going the other way. The goal is this way. Like, okay, so
but seriously,
we're close to that.
Care. Most of the time, look, I would at least, if you're going to fucking rear back and shoot, at least put it on target. Make them miss. It's just like in baseball. Put the ball in play. Just put it in play. Get the bat on the ball.
Pass it back to start all over again.
I know.
Pass it some more.
Every time. And there's a fair criticism of Gonzo. Like, that is coaching, I think.
Yeah.
I think that is. Like, the
go goddamn forward.
Yeah.
What
the negative passing,
it
has been a theme with Gonzo and this team, and that is a fair criticism. In his presser, well, we'll just move into number 5.
I think number 5 and number 2 are kind of
the same thing. I mean, I like the team's fight. The chances we created after going down a man is what I thought he would probably say. He didn't exactly say that, but he has said that from time to time. Look, if he genuinely thinks that really starting to play after conceding first again
is a positive
going down a man,
that's
not it. That's not it. He said something, actually, I want to call this out specifically in his post-game remarks, which, again, I appreciate because he is forthcoming. He will talk with the press and engage, and that's great. But he said in his presser that he was not expecting LAFC to play with a back 5. This has happened a couple of times where he has said something about a team that they did that was unexpected, that wasn't the norm for said team. So what you're telling us then is that a team you faced at home or away did something they don't normally do, played in a way they don't normally play, used a formation they don't normally do, in order to secure a result, and it worked. Interesting. My brother in Christ, this is what we are asking of you, to have that flexibility, to make some changes, to do something outside the norm. We are so figured out on this team. Free points. Get your free points. Come here and get your free points. We know we just give them away, and it's so easy. So try something different.
Right.
Park it. Counter. Why not?
How have we become the fucking gimme?
Yeah.
And that sucks. I hate living on this side of the fucking line. I am so fucking tired of this shit. I said I wasn't going to come on here and just get super angry.
No, but that's something I am angry about.
I am, because I don't want to hear that fucking shit from him. I don't want to hear, I didn't expect LAFC to play a back 5. It's your job to expect. No. That's what I'm saying. Then you have no business fucking coaching, because you have a staff that has enough time. Don't tell me you didn't have time, or that you didn't know, that you can't do your fucking research and say, what's a possibility of a formation that LFC might play? Okay, so they've been playing like this. What if they do something else? What would that look like? And if we do, how do we adjust? So for him to come out and literally, he just confessed to not knowing how to coach.
It's bad. Now, if he had come out and said, and the players didn't, which he doesn't usually throw the players under the bus, I don't think that's the case. With this, I think you are right to be angry about that. I am angry about that. That really upset me on both levels. On the level you're talking about of that's your job to prepare for that.
You just told everybody you don't know how to be a coach. And the
second thing of like, well, man, if it works for other teams, trying to be a little unpredictable, I'm not asking us to fundamentally change the way we want to play like Red Bull or something like that.
You have to adjust in the middle of a game.
You got to adjust in the middle of the game. And you got to adjust in circumstances.
Yeah.
Results, where a team is at, player personnel, availability.
Yep.
I know he wants, and I can respect a coach being committed to their ideas. I can respect that. I really can. But you can't be so rigid. Like, your job as a coach, get results. It's a results business. Do what you got to do.
All I'm going to do to play devil's advocate here is to ask the question of, when you have 3 fucking sitters, like Danny Rios did, and Sabalob Janize did, you know, and Thiago did, and Tristan Miumba did, and all of them go wide.
It's not all on Pineda.
I'm just, like I said, we can, so, and again, given the fixture congestion, and then we got a 2-week international break, and then we start really losing people to Euros and the Olympics and, you know, Copa, whatever distraction, okay, which other teams are going to have to deal with too. What does actually, like, pulling the plug accomplish right now in the immediate future?
Getting rid of Pineda, like, right now?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Which is what people are demanding. Like, I am 100%. I'm 100% in Camp Pineda out right now.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
But I don't know about the timing. That's what I don't know.
I don't think it matters. Basically on everything that you just said, you just described 4 losses coming up based on what we're going to have available. You just described the amount of time that people are going to be gone and the amount of congestion, and everything that you just described are 4 more losses. So what the fuck does it matter? If they do it now, then maybe you've at least gained the trust a little bit of the people who are saying, look, dude, it ain't fucking working anymore. So if you say, if Garth comes out and says, look, it's not working. We get it. We're going to try something new. Give us a couple weeks and we're gonna decide how to handle this. I don't know. What I'm saying is, I don't think it matters.
I actually think right now
timing doesn't matter. If you bring in an interim coach, he's gonna lose 4 times anyway.
Well, that exactly. So like I think right now the bigger fail is actually on. You want to talk about. I don't like we talked about before we started recording. I don't like this idea of fraud. Like, I don't like this name calling, these personal attack things. But I think you can ask, where is Garth in this?
Yeah.
Where is Boca? And why are they why is the team telling Doug, no, you can't speak to either one of them?
I don't know. Here's all I'm saying.
He's asking, look, and we all, again, I remain very lucky that, we all acknowledge that we're lucky we get the kind of coverage that we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the media.
Yeah.
And you know what? Doug's been asking the hard questions, and Doug is asking for responses. So like, before we go, being all up in our privilege here, why is the team not stepping up to the mic and responding? Now it's not, now it is about the fan base actually checking out.
Well, and so that's what I'm saying. You said basically kind of what you were saying about the timing. You were kind of saying, like, what do we gain immediately by, let's say, firing Pineda on Tuesday, right? Because tomorrow's a holiday, and so a lot of times things don't happen. But with the loss last night, do we hear from Garth on Tuesday that says, do we see that press release? Gonzalo Pineda parting ways,
I don't think so, because I think travel arrangements are already made for Miami.
Fine. So. But here's what I'm saying. You said, basically you're saying, what do we gain by firing Pineda tomorrow, right? Let me ask the alternative. Let me ask the alternative. What do we lose if we fire Pineda on Tuesday? Because what you may gain is at least you might have
I guess that is my question.
You might have 50,000 people on Tuesday, finally.
If they come out on Tuesday, fire Pineda, and we lose both matches this week, are you as a fan any more trusting of the organization?
No, but are you any less trusting?
Yes, because now you've gone and fired the manager, and we have no idea what the hell you're going to do.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying I think we lose those games anyway.
I think it happens after next Sunday, win or lose. I do after Charlotte. I'm pretty sure he's going to be gone because of the timing. I don't think there's any way he saves this. His job.
So have y'all, out of curiosity, done any initial thinking as to who you would like to see come in? What kind
interim or permanent?
the idea of a permanent coach.
I no fucking clue, because I didn't know that Pineda was on our radar until he was basically hired. We are not Liverpool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many people are out there. I don't know all of the coaches that are out there in the world. If you even said what domestic coach would I want, I wouldn't even really begin to say.
If you had to pin me down to domestic, based on who's available, Savarese.
I'm not pinning you down to anybody. Whoever you could get.
Gio Savarese. Wouldn't mind seeing De Zerbi. He's leaving Brighton. That might be interesting. I know I don't want Graham Potter, because I think he's a little bit like Pineda in terms of the good vibes, feelings, and we need somebody who's going to hold these guys' feet to the fire a little bit more.
Yeah. Even somebody like Tata, because we know that Tata had his he had control.
He had
as
control.
Nice as he
he
was,
had respect.
we know he had control.
El Tata, he had the love.
I'm not gonna knock. I don't want to knock El Tata from the pedestal, but I also think there's a gulf of difference between when you talk about Tata's capabilities as a manager, between what he was handed with 2017, 2018 here, what he's handling right now in Miami in terms of talent in the league and whatever, and then you go and you look at what happened with him in Mexico, where
I was thinking only about Mexico,
and it was a very, very different situation.
I was thinking almost entirely about Mexico, not Miami. I barely think about it.
And obviously I don't put anything that comes out of the Miami fan base right now is pretty much with a grain of salt, because there's no actual journalism or whatever, and everybody who comments on all their social feeds is just so much. We should be beating everybody by 8 goals, blah, 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 and if it's not that, then it's the sky is falling and we suck. I remember those days. It was kind of fun. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. It ain't 7-0 in the snow more anyway, is it?
No. Was it 7 or did we hit 6
7.
on that? Was it 7? Oh.
No, 6.
7 was New England.
No, 7 was New England. Sorry, 7
was a touchdown.
Not only was it 7-0, or 7. It was 7-2 against New England. It was 9 men. They went down to 9. No, it was 6-0 in the snow. You're right. I guess
we're not New England. We're pretty close. Caleb Porter ain't gonna survive. Neither.
I don't want Caleb Porter.
No, I don't want him here. That wouldn't be the move from one struggling team to another struggling team. That wouldn't be the move.
I don't think
whoever we get,
do that.
It's gonna have to be somebody that's going to command respect, has experience.
You know who I think is real. You know who I think is real interesting and not necessarily getting his due, but if you were going to go domestic. And I don't know that he survives the summer where he's at right now. He's not available right this second. It's Oscar Pereira.
I was wondering about that. I was wondering if we needed somebody that has that kind of a resume.
I think he's got a really high soccer IQ.
Yeah.
I think he's not afraid to be an asshole.
Okay. I see where you're going with that. Okay.
What I like best out of him is the performances he's gotten out of players. He's got a track record of getting a lot of something out of not a lot. He does not have owners that are willing to spend. He's had to.
That's true.
He's had to have a whole bunch of Tim Gunn moments where it's make it work, and he's gotten up until relatively recently. And I think Orlando's not used to, all the extra fit, the CONCACAF Champions League really knocked them down a peg like that, I don't know. I mean, Orlando's always been kind of a hot mess, and we all can't look at Orlando with straight faces, but I don't know that a lot of that is on Pereira, even though he might be getting the heat for it. And I said, I don't know if he's available. I don't know if they're going to let him go. Right. But I think if I was looking domestically, that's the kind of
I actually kind of half thought of him, when
it's interesting.
When you said that, but
not going to happen, but it's interesting.
No, but I mean, somebody in that mold.
Okay. All right. No, I like that.
In that mold, because I think Pereira's a Wilfred Nancy kind of mold. People didn't until Wilfred Nancy won a cup. The last couple of years, nobody's really talked about what a great coach he is. He kind of came in under the radar, did the thing up in Montreal and like had a lot of success with not a lot of
That's
tools
true.
in the arsenal.
It's true. I like your thinking with that in terms of what he's been able to do with what he's got.
Because I think that ultimately right now, that's really the problem is Pineda can't get performances out of these guys. And whoever he's got in the supporting cast right now also can't get performances out of these guys. And we all know these guys are capable of performances that they are not delivering for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's 100% true because we've seen him do it before and just now. We don't need some brilliant pep tactician because we can't play pep ball anyhow with what we have available. We do need somebody more in the mold of what you're talking about.
Yeah, we just need somebody who can come back in and really actually do the thing that Pineda keeps saying, which is, or that you keep saying that we need to tell him to do, which is figure out how to get this team back to basics.
De Zerbi wouldn't be. We're not going to get him, but lower mid-table team did more than he should have. Okay, in that way. Okay, so that's the type of coach.
Actually, a couple of people have suggested Dax for player coach, and honestly, I can't say that I hate that.
No, I mean, I think if he wants a future, he might have it. I love the way he speaks, but you got to get is Dax gonna get more out of these guys than Pineda? No, we need somebody fresh to come in outside the club, hasn't been here, that's gonna just bring some new energy, say some new things in some new ways. And I think somebody in the mold of what you're talking about is probably what this team needs. And God willing, the front office is doing their homework, shopping, getting something ready. Surely it had to have been. I mean, ever since the Philly game, even before then, you got to have somebody in your Rolodex. Succession planning, have some sort of plan. I would be even more concerned than I am right now.
I wonder if we don't,
it could
be. Is that why we're not hearing from Garth or both?
Maybe. I mean, this club has played it close to the vest.
Plan, or
maybe they're just waiting to reveal it.
I think so. I would be totally shocked if there's just no plan. That just hasn't been what Garth has done throughout his whole career. And I'm sure this has thrown him for a loop. It's thrown all of us for a loop. Nobody expected this drop off like this. 9 winless? Yeah. Come on. Nobody saw it coming. Any of the Pineda haters out there who are now saying, see, we told you, nobody thought this. Nobody thought this.
The first month of the season, we're all like, woo, we're going to win the league. Woo.
Nobody thought it was going to be this, So
I don't think that we thought that. I think that we were.
I was critical from game one.
We had legitimate conversations about what this team was capable of.
Yeah, we thought that we would go
inside of a framework of top 4 and making a deep run in the playoffs.
Right.
I don't think on paper and the way we played the first 3 matches of the season, that was an unrealistic expectation.
No, and especially the way we finished up last season with the talent that we had acquired, we truly believed that we had the ability, and we do. I still think that we do have the ability to have that. Maybe not now. I'm saying the team that we have.
Yeah, I hear you. It's just it's hard to know who is this team we have right now.
But are we? And I hate to draw this comparison, Glenn, and I'm going to do it. But are we starting to feel a little bit like Chelsea, where we're a team of players, individual players that aren't gelling? That aren't, we got 11 players out there, individual players, and not a team.
That's what they looked like yesterday.
Yeah.
Not as bad. I mean, it was.
Well, we didn't spend $1 billion on them, but
it was grotesque with Chelsea, and there was emphasis with the front office on trying to find the right pieces. There was planning involved. Chelsea, they were throwing darts at a map.
That's true.
Give me Enzo down in Argentina for 110. Yeah. How about this Mudryk kid over in Ukraine? 120 for him. Yeah, sure. There's no thought given to building. We saw issues. This front office saw issues with this team and addressed them, and we were all on board. And when healthy, it looked good. Yes, we were playing. Our wins came against bad teams, But we did hold Columbus 1-0. But there were things in that game that I was concerned about from the jump with from mentality, and I was speaking about it. I was not satisfied with it. And then I praised Pineda when we did win, and he still was not satisfied with things. I didn't want satisfaction. I didn't want us to be satisfied. I'm okay with can't get no satisfaction. I didn't want it.
Well, aren't you feeling fabulous now, Glenn? Because you got exactly what you wanted.
Let's end it there, shall we?
Let's end it there. We're just gonna have to see what happens at Miami. Honestly, if we can do anything possible to not be completely embarrassed, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I would just like to get out of there with like less than like in an ideal circumstances,
less
maybe
than 4,
2-0, less than 3. If we get out of there by less than 3, I will not be upset.
Here's another damning thing to say about this team on top of everything else, including LAFC getting to 100 wins before us, having started a year after us. If we are able, by some miracle of insert the deity of your choice here, and we get a result, if we get a win on Wednesday, is that one of the biggest results in Atlanta United's history?
Yes.
An away win, an away draw, given where we're at right now?
Against Miami, given what they have and given where we are?
Did y'all
I'd
ever think, from 2018 and 19 on, or from that time frame and our mentality there, winning U.S. Open Cup, positive vibes everywhere, that we would ever be saying that about this club? How big of an upset it would be for us to beat somebody, to draw somebody. I certainly didn't.
No, because I never thought in a million years that Messi
would
like the way
Also true. Yeah, that's fair enough. But seriously, if we do...
I really didn't. I would have bet my house and lost
everything. If we do, it will be incredible. Pineda's still gone. Mm-hmm. He is little more...
They'll chalk it up to a fluke.
He's little more than a caretaker at this point. That's it. Back-to-back wins, maybe, just maybe. I'm saying in the front off. Yeah. Not in my mind. He still needs to go. But maybe that gets him an extension. I don't know. I don't think you can, because I think after Charlotte, if they don't, you are kind of stuck. I think you got to do it now with enough time before the summer transfer window, because I want the new manager to have that input. I do. I don't want Pineda's input on who's coming next. Thank you. I'm sorry for everything and all the adversity you had to deal with that was beyond his control. He's a good guy. I hope he has success somewhere else. I won't be mad if he does. He has to go. He has to go.
I think ultimately too, you can look at it as not everybody is cut out to be a head coach.
That's true. Maybe he's learned something about himself.
Head coaching.
It's hard.
You really have to have, a multiple personality disorder to be a head coach.
Yeah.
There are so many different ways that you have to come at things, right? Because otherwise you get stuck in these ruts.
You got to be a tactician. You got to be a therapist. I mean, there are so many hats you got to wear.
And
takes a special person.
And it's unfortunate that maybe that's just, the aspect of personality that Pineda is missing, because, granted, we're not on the training pitch with him, but we see the mic'd ups and the clips and the whatever. And I don't know that I ever see anything different from him other than, the smiley, peppy, positive.
Which was
bad one time, and that was at Joseph and with the chicken and the rice and that was it.
And that energy was needed when he came in. It was. But we're past it. And I fully agree. I want to win. That'd be great. But it doesn't matter at this point. He is gone. And it is a matter of time at this point. And we can only hope that the reason that we're not hearing from Garth and Boca, which I still disagree with, they should be communicating with Doug and the press to some extent. I get it. You can say the club doesn't comment on this or that or transfers or rumors or whatever. We can only hope that there is a plan.
But you can't just say they're not available.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I
They
don't like
can
that.
come to the podium and say, we're not taking questions on this, but they can look us in the eye and say that instead of saying it by proxy.
Right. I fully agree, because that's not this shouldn't be the DNA of this club, and that's why I said what I said in my takes. It was that I think the mentality, top to bottom, front to back, left to right, social media to players to coach, is wrong in this club. It does not feel right. This does not feel Atlanta United. And
off.
I'm talking about more than the losses.
Yeah.
Get on side.
Yeah,
everyone.
Something has to happen. And it has to happen now. It really,
the recognition,
really needs to happen
that's
now.
the positive thing I think you were talking about earlier, and we'll wrap it up here with what do we gain by getting rid of him now? What versus what do we lose? Saying the message alone is what we gain, of saying not good enough. Not good enough, and we're saying that right now. We know it's not interim coach, that's not ideal ever, but we have to draw a line. We have to say, hey, not coming to the mic, not good enough. This isn't good enough. That isn't good enough, and set that standard, because the standards have been lowered too much for my liking. Right. And I'm sorry I poo-pooed on the photo.
No, I don't disagree.
That was part of it.
I thought it would happen 2 weeks ago after the third home loss. I really did. So I'm still surprised. And I told a guy at work, I was like, it's probably going to happen on Tuesday. And he goes, I guess we'll talk next week.
At home.
No, I know. No. Well, we've tied it.
We never lost.
We did in 2020. We did in 2020. We've tied it. Our worst in franchise history. Yay!
Yeah.
Champions of possession. You'll never sing that. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll be extremely disappointed.
We don't shoot the ball. We don't shoot the ball. Possession. We've got it all.
Jeez. Ouch. Well, get with the Capos on that one. Also, hey guys, don't go after the Capos. Just saying. They're probably the bottom of the list of the people that are responsible for the way things are in this club. Their job is to try to bring the energy. There's some out there. Believe me.
Fuck right off.
Their job is to not hold the accountability of the club and ask for everyone to be silent and stuff like that. They're trying to bring the energy, guys. They're trying to give these players and do their part, and they got their backs to the pitch most of the game. They're not even watching to do that. So let's be a little bit better there. All right. Thank you. Really appreciate it for listening. As always, these moments are tough. We can only hope that they will get better and that there is a plan. We'll all be extremely disappointed if Pineda is let go next week and there's still not a plan, because then it begs the question, why not have done it last week, the week before? Now, if we come out next week and we learn a little bit more about what was going on behind the scenes and they knew, and okay, all right. And that we've seen that happen before too, with things being played close to the vest, and Garth's a smart guy. And he's done well with the roster rebuild, we thought. And we'll see. It's kind of everything's up in the air right now. Questions about everything. Who knows? Yeah. And then we just got to also hope for getting, it does matter, a little bit of luck and getting healthy. Because the same manager is going to be facing the same problems. Right. It's not like he's going to come in with a magic key and just unlock everything and it's going to be fixed. That's not going to happen either. But it doesn't matter, because the accountability has to be there. Right. And Gonzo has to go. That just does, regardless of what happens. All right, y'all. We will be back next week. I very much doubt that we will be back midweek. I think work schedules are going to be a bit too busy to make that happen. But we'll talk about Miami after we play Charlotte, and most likely record Monday night, because I think
don't
we play
lie
Sunday.
To everybody. We don't want to have to. It's very, very likely we don't want to have to talk about the result of that match, and we already put our listeners through enough pain and suffering, and all of our livers need
I want to say, and I want to sign off with this, me personally, because I'm not going to come. I to be honest with you, I was saying earlier that sometimes it's hard to find the motivation to want to schlep myself down these stairs and sit in front of this microphone and talk about another loss. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to keep fucking doing it. And I appreciate everybody that continues to listen to this podcast, whether we're winning or we're losing, because I'm going to keep coming down here and I'm going to keep sitting in front of this microphone and I'm going to keep following this team, and we are going to keep doing it, because eventually things are going to turn around. If you guys keep listening, we will keep talking. I don't
or
have
not. We never said we were going to stop talking anyway.
Yeah, we're going to talk anyway. Let's be real.
Yeah. Whether y'all are listening or not.
What I'm saying,
we appreciate the fact that you're listening to
very
our
much,
pain.
very much,
That's what
very
I'm
much,
saying.
very much.
Is that I don't have any kind of funny, quippy cat sign off this week because my motivation to do that isn't there as it has been. But what I'm saying is that I am going to keep sitting in front of this mic to keep talking about this team as long as people keep listening. So thank you to the people that are. That's all I'm saying.
Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not fucking leaving.
That's the motivation enough.
So Kat, you're actually being a cat this week where you're ignoring where you are overlording the human species and laying in your little cat tower, just ignoring the general population.
Oh yes, I have my favorite sticker in the world that I have on my kit. It literally is a cat going like this, and it just says, "Fuck you, I am cat."
Good as place as any to end it. Thank you very much for listening. We love you guys. I love both of you as well. Thank you for continuing to do this. It's not always easy, but we're gonna keep doing it, man. And eventually, like, tough times don't last forever. They last a long time, but not forever. At some point, this is gonna get corrected, and we're gonna be better, and we're gonna be happier. And for now, let's just go watch DecaturFC. All right, y'all. We'll be back in a week's time. Until then, y'all be good. We will be back. Wow, there really was no meow.
No, but I clawed it. So if anybody's
Angry
watching,
claws.